Alright, Bonehawk, so this video is all about the STB podcast. If you don't know what STB is, it's my gaming team. I'm trying to mix up the members that come on the show. So today we have STB Goobie, previously known as STB Broski, and Kompetitor, which you will know if you've been around for any amount of time. We're talking everything that's come out in the last week or so, the Umgadi trailer, the Geras trailer, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hope you enjoy the content. Leave us the comments down below on things, because every once in a while there's like, maybe we want to hear what the comments say on this. So that being said, let's get into it.
Accept your death.
Okay, so I feel like we should start like chronologically in things that kind of happened, because we've got like a fair amount of information over the last week or so, or especially since the last time we had this podcast. So I'm going to start with Compy, Mr. Kompetitor here. What were your overall thoughts on the Umgadi trailer? Like, I know that you've kind of already got your character that you want, but was there anything in there that kind of got you excited, or that you new information kind of a thing?
Darius, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Darius.
I was really shocked and surprised to see Tanya back. I really love her redesign. Her weapon seems really cool. Instead of having like the Naginata or the Tonfas, she almost had like it almost kind of reminded me of like Ivy from Soul Calibur a little bit.
Oh.
Like it was like a disconnected like sword, like staff that I don't know how to explain it, but it was like Ivy's sword kind of.
Somebody in one of my comments said the name of the actual weapon. I don't remember what it is, but it's out there.
Yeah, so I thought that was actually really cool. And then obviously Lee May coming back. I thought that's really hype. The first thing I thought about was you, but I mean, she's probably not going to have an infinite, so don't get too excited.
There goes my competitive history.
But my favorite part about the trailer, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I hate this character, but Baraka. He looks fucking sick.
Yes.
He looks sick. His combo routes looked sick. His animations were awesome. He looks scary again. Like, he looks like classic MK2. Like, just the, like, face. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's the teeth or something, but he looks menacing again. He looks awesome. So...
And I really like the backstory that they gave him about him just being a merchant that like turned in, and now he's like almost like this Robin Hood of like the Tarkot people, like trying to keep them safe or whatever. Like, I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah, like a leader instead of just being a jobber. Like it's pretty cool his reimagining.
Because we kind of got a little bit of that, I think, in MK11, where they started showing more Tarkatans and how he interacts with them. So it was nice to see him in a role like that. But yeah, I agree with what Kompetitor's saying. Dude is a beast.
Yeah, and it's like after all that in MK11, right? The Tarkatans helping Liu Kang and everyone to defeat Chronica. He just he makes the Tarkatan race a disease. Like, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty like
come on, man.
That's like, and there's been so many like conversations that I've seen about that, about like, like how much involvement did Liu Kang really have here? Like, I watched a video the other day that was really good, talking about like when we'll get into this part later, but how long has Liu Kang been doing all of this for? How many groups of people has Liu Kang seen? So it's kind of interesting to know, like, is this something that's like always existed, if he's been doing this for like a long time and he's just like been like, they'll probably figure it out, kind of thing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I want to just keep thinking, he's just misremembering things. Like, oh yeah, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they were brothers or some shit. He's just misremembering his universes. I don't know.
Just winging it.
It's kind of like
I'm
the
excited.
You're excited.
I'm excited for the story.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I love the Lord of the game, so.
I was gonna say that, to me, the little headcanon I've kind of created is that Liu Kang's gone out of his way to try to make a better life for everybody. But I feel like there's going to be certain things that he cannot change, or certain things that if he does change, it's inevitable. Like, making Baraka a loved merchant. like a trusted merchant in all of Outworld. I feel like that's a route that he tried to go, but because of the whole Tarkat thing, he's not able to essentially wipe out Tarkatan. So he had to put it somewhere, and again, inevitably, Baraka ends up catching it. So I feel like he's doing his best. It's just he doesn't really. I don't think he's the best at it yet.
He's still got his, he's freshly off the training wheels kind of thing.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, that's an interesting take.
I mean, I like that. Before we get too deep into that conversation, I want to switch it over to the artist formerly known as Broski, aka Goobie now. Mr. Goobie. What did you think of the Umgadi trailer? Overall, like everything, just like generally.
Oh man. I've been wanting to see 3D era characters back in Mortal Kombat for a while. I think I'm one of the small majority that loves a majority of them. Except for like Daru. But seeing Lee May come back, revamped, redesigned, yet having elements of herself from those 3D era games made me so excited to see all the other characters we're gonna get as well. Lee May looks amazing. I love the story that they're doing with her. I kind of remember she had like a similar role where you met her in Deception, where she's kind of like, hey, I want to train to protect my village. I'm glad that they kind of kept that. I really didn't like where they went in the original timeline, where they ended up making her like fall in love with Onaga, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was like the weirdest thing that they could have come up with. I feel like they just didn't know what to do and they threw her in that role. But seeing her kind of in this policing type of like warden, sheriff of the town, whatever you want to call it, like I'm very excited to see her. Baraka stuck out like he's never stuck out to me before. The one word that comes to my mind seeing this Baraka is savage. Just how long his little combo was. The way he flails his arms, the way he's really swinging. It feels like they took so many creative liberties with him, knowing that this is the route they wanted to go with, and it definitely worked. Baraka looks like a menace. I can't wait to try him out. Tanya, I've never really been too big of a fan of Tanya, but that weapon, I wish we knew the name it was, or the name of it. But man, Tanya looks amazing. She, at one point, I think I saw a parry that she had there where like she kind of claps her hands onto her weapon and then those little sun hands or spirit hands come out and then she kind of just grabs you and flips you around like that. Looks awesome. I love the way they've I like the way all the characters look. Yeah, some of the animations are a little goofy still, but like they've taken certain moves and just refreshed them and made them look nice. Like that little spiral, that little cami spiral that she does, the low, that looks really cool. I can't wait to see what she's like in the air, because just air combos being a thing, and she seems to have these interesting like little aerial moves, and hers are super flashy. But overall, yeah, the Umgadi trailer got me excited. Definitely loved watching Lee May bust out of that cart and just go and run and kick that dude in the face. Thing was great.
I remember watching that for the first time, and I'm like, I'm like, I didn't really know what I was looking at, and then I was like, okay, I was like, oh, it's Melina, and then they show like Melina Katana, and that's when I was like, hold on here, what the fuck's happening? That's not Melina. Oh, that was hype.
Your reaction had me great because you're like, who is this? And then as soon as you said that, Liu Kang is like, Lee May.
Yeah, I was like, I just lost my shit, dude. It's funny because like I was watching other React videos, and then like they right away they'd be like, oh hey, it's Lee May. I'm like, how do you know that? Like I like the character, but you were able to pick her out right away. It was interesting to me.
The only thing that kind of gave it away to me, because I was like you, until Liu Kang said her name, I was like, oh, okay, this is Lee May. But she kind of reminded me of the Lee May that we saw in X for that quick little interaction.
Yeah, when she said Earth Realmer, because she used that term famously in MKX, that was like one of her lines. She said that, and I was like, okay. I'm thinking that's who that is. I want to give a quick shout out to Eddie Martin 023. Tanya's weapon, I'm gonna absolutely butcher this. Sanjagoon, I think. Sanjagoon is I just found a comment on my reaction video there. Just luckily it wasn't too far away, but anyways, that's what the weapon's called, or something resembling that sort of pronunciation. So breaking down the characters, like the gameplay wise, like I like how Lee May, like, they had some of the classic moves. Like in the air, she does kind of like her flip kick thing that she had in Deception, and then
Mm-hmm.
she kind of has like I don't know. Like I get that they're shouting it out. I'm not sure I'm crazy about like the new like flurry punches that she has, but I can definitely see how that's kind of like a shout out to the 3D era moves.
It looks way better than the 3D era one, I'll tell you that.
I mean, yeah. to be fair, she is kind of like levitating, but that would be cool if she could levitate, right? Especially with like the air combat stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not wrong.
And then like how they how they went to like the like more like a firework effect to her, like especially with the fatality where she just lights your intestine like on fire and kicks your head into the air and just explodes like a firework. That was so cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
Dude, I love that fatality. That's probably my favorite one we've seen so far, besides the one in the newest trailer.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. We could talk about that when we get
Well,
there.
yeah,
but-
we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry about it because I have lots to say about that. And then moving on to Baraka. So here's something interesting that I noticed about Baraka is they've redesigned the blade spark, obviously, and I noticed that when he does it, there's like blood coming out of him as he's doing the blade spark. So, I mean, that is such a small, minute detail, but like just kind of to speak of the Tarkat disease, like he can use this to defend himself, but is he hurting himself in doing so? I thought that was just a pretty cool. I don't know if you noticed that at all, but that's one of the. I had to watch it again a couple times before I actually noticed it, and I was like, that's a neat detail.
No, I did not notice that. I absolutely love it because because of the disease, their bodies are turning on them. So one of these weird mutations is these blades. I can't imagine that feeling pleasant because if you think about it, before it was a part of his race, so it might have still hurt to a degree, but his body was naturally made that way. Now, I don't even want to think about the science that goes into metal blades forming in your like forearms, but that's a great detail.
Yeah,
Nice catch.
Like launching fingernails. That's
God. Bro, that is horrible. Like I'm physically recoiling right now just imagining that feeling.
I sorry for putting that into your head there, but
Wow, now that you say that, I'm going back just to watch this little gameplay bit, and that little move he does where he uses the blades to hop up into that overhead. It looks like
yeah.
there's blood that comes out of there too. Wow.
So like so I mean he's really kind of like hurting himself every time he's using these blades, which is such an interesting little tidbit. I don't know. I really like that about him.
Damn, Yellow King screwed this man up. Screwed this man up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's got a lot of his classic moves. I probably missed it, but I didn't see Chop Blades. Again, I might have missed it. I did watch the trailer quite a few times, but I didn't see him do Chop, which would be interesting. That's such like an iconic move. He's had it every single game. He can't not have Chop in this. I would petition Ed Boon himself because petitions always work every time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, change.org or something like that. Not sponsored.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised though. Look at MK11. Some characters, like especially Sonya, was missing a lot of classic moves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they're putting a lot into like they're really pouring their heart out into this one. I could just tell just from the love they've shown. I've loved every character design so far.
Yeah,
Like, it's great.
I got the. Oh, I'm sorry, Dink.
No, I was just saying, I don't think there's one I don't like. Go ahead.
I got the feeling that they've missed not having variations in their game because now all these characters have such big tool sets, and it's like, oh man, I feel like they looked at it and they're like, we're giving everybody everything.
Yes, and I like that.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for the last few years. Like, they gotta just quit with the custom moves, quit with the variations, just make solid, complete characters.
Agreed.
Because like in MK11, if I said, "Oh yeah, so X is a mid-range footsie character with a pretty decent projectile," who am I thinking of?
I mean, half the cast, more than
Yeah,
half
they
the
were.
cast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, and then even the grapplers were good mid-range footsie characters, like Kotal Khan and such and such. So it's like, I feel by getting rid of the variations and stuff, it really, you can have a dedicated zoner. Like Johnny now, like he was always a rushdown character, but he had some pretty damn good zoning, counter zoning, stuff like that. But they're switching him to just a full-on rushdown character, no projectile and stuff, which then opens up, the toolkit like we discussed last time. You could throw a projectile assist on or a projectile cameo to cover that, and so on and so forth. So, I really think it's gonna open up a lot of creativity, and every character is gonna be unique again.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited for that, and like, I don't know, I like the cameo system way better than I like variations, and like the problem was like the variations you just had so many moves that just were useless, or like why would you use them when you could do something else? Like Baraka had like 3 or 4 flag moves, like they really wanted to make this flag work, but they made all the moves absolute garbage. So like there's all these unused abilities just sitting there not doing anything. So at least with the cameos, like even if a cameo maybe isn't the best for one character, there's somebody in the cast that cameo is going to work for. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to have much more success with that and see much more creativity with it as well. And then as far as Tanya as a whole, I don't really have much to say. Again, I'm not a huge Tanya fan. I know some people are absolutely crazy about her. There have been in the bios kind of talking about like Melina and Tanya's romance, which is interesting because I thought that that was kind of like a fanfic type of thing for a while, and they've never actually done anything official. I don't know if they have any history in the past. I know that there's like hints of Melina and Baraka in the past, which is maybe how she got the Tarkot, someone didn't wrap their shit or something.
Ew.
Do you think like Tarkot STDs are like blade stick? I'm not. Never mind.
It's definitely where Chop Chop went.
You ever see the movie?
Now we know why Chop Chop's not here.
I was not ready for that. That is an interesting question though. Like how is the Tarkot disease like transmitted? Like that's be something interested to know. Like are they even gonna go there or just be like, oh, they have the Tarkot, or it'd be like it's transmitted by blah 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 blah, That'd be interesting to know. Like
I mean, in the
Melina gets it.
trailer, I was gonna say in the trailer, if you kind of see like when Brock is talking about, I believe it's when he says, if Liu Kang could have helped, he would have helped already. They're taking blood from his neck, like
yeah.
they're sticking a syringe into him. So I'm gonna assume that it's probably just they get his blood into Melina somehow. But I don't know. For all we know, there's gonna be a cutscene where Baraka's like talking to her before he's got like the teeth and everything. He sneezes and it just hits her right in the face.
Should have been wearing a mask.
Wear a mask. Jinx.
Hilarious. So like I wonder then if that scene where they're taking blood from Baraka is like maybe that's like the big bad or whatever, and they managed to take Baraka's blood and somehow managed to inject it into Melina. It would have to be someone that was able to get close to Melina, obviously, to do that. But I mean, that's a theory of how she could get it, I suppose. But like, it's not like all these people that have Tarkot are going around injecting blood into each other. Like, I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
Who knows what Outworld's like? I mean, that part is crazy.
Yeah, that's true. And okay, so here's a side note from the Umgadi trailer that I've been thinking about, and like, so I guess has Liu Kang just been calling himself the protector of Earthrealm? Because now he's in Outworld trying to save Melina from some sort of danger. But I mean, if he's the protector of Earthrealm, why is he in Outworld trying to protect their leader from danger? You know what I'm saying?
I thought he was the protector of time or whatever now.
Okay,
I mean, technically he is, but Dink is right. He every time he refers to himself, he says the protector of Earthrealm, god of fire, is like the most he'll extend that to. Personally speaking, I think I think he is just a protector of Earthrealm, but whenever we see, you know, whatever the cause of these new things coming out that he's not like prepared for, I think that's where he's going to start deviating into other realms affairs because he's like, hey, I made this world. This is my world.
Right.
And now I've got whatever it is that is the conflict is going into my stuff and messing around with the world that I'm creating. So now I'm trying to, I guess, help you people. And it seems like he's kind of vague about everything. I don't think he's really just going around telling people, oh, I can shape time. So I think that he kind of just shows up and he's like, hey, this is what's going on. And then everybody's kind of like, oh, what do you mean? And then they start seeing it from their, from their eyes, like kind of, I could see him showing up to Outworld, talking to Lee May, saying, this is what's going on. Lee May's like, okay, we got to go tell people. And then that's where in the trailer, she's telling Tanya, hey, the royal family's in trouble. And she's just kind of like, what do you just take in lies?
Right.
Just go off the lies and stuff. So I think that's where he's going to start kind of dipping his toes into the other realms.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
so sorry, one, just gotta get this thought out, and then I'm good. So we're thinking like he's the protector of Earthrealm. Like everyone knows that he's the protector of Earthrealm, but people don't necessarily know that he controls the Hourglass.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Something to kind of add on to that is one of the intros that I had heard when I was playing the stress test was Sub-Zero wanting to get into the Temple of Elements because there's a power locked inside. He doesn't say, I'm going in there for that Hourglass. He just knows that Liu Kang's probably got something in there.
Oh.
Again, because Liu Kang is so vague and he's like, oh, you gotta do this. We can't let this happen. Well, why would that happen?
Right.
You know,
and like, don't go into my closet kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I don't know. You know, little birdie told me. It's just like, all right, well, this guy's lying about something.
What if that's how people get their powers? Because if you see, like, if Sub-Zero said that, maybe that's how him and Scorpion got their powers, and that maybe that, Smoke, they want Smoke to get powers or something. Or maybe that's like in the trailer, Kenshi's not blind or anything, but obviously in the gameplay, he's got the blindfold and Sento and everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, that's just some theory crafting around that idea.
This is why I love like this part of like game releases when like there's just so many like hints and stuff dropped and we get to like speculate on everything that's going on and then like the big reveal when it's dropped, just go, oh my god, so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The feeling of like when a game is coming out, you can do all this stuff is a completely different feeling of happiness than when the game is out and you get to play it.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling. This is probably like my favorite time personally, just because as you could kind of tell, I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to like lore and stuff. So I watch these trailers over and over and over again, and I try to pick up like small hints. I love that stuff.
Yeah, like the Temple of Elements thing you mentioned, I didn't even pick up on that. So I mean, I'm glad that you're able to bring that information to the table. Let's move on now to the Combat Pack trailer. Like,
yo,
let's fucking go. So we have 3 guest characters and 3 Mortal Kombat characters. Of course, my boy Quan Chi. We have Ermac and we have Takeda. Which there was a lot of speculation about Takeda at first, and I was really curious to get everyone's kind of info on that. But then an email went out that confirmed that it is going to be Takeda Takahashi, son of Kenshi. They didn't say son of Kenshi, but I'm assuming they have the same last name. There's some relation there, I guess. So one by one, let's go through. Obviously, y'all know how I feel about Quan Chi, with the exception that I was never really crazy about those little shoulder spike things he has. I know that they're iconic going back to MK4, but I'm just don't like it. Like if you just cut those off and had the rest of his design, that'd be like fucking sweet. Like he looks super dope. But I just don't like they just look out of place. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Who wants to go first? Quan Chi. What'd you think of Quan Chi?
Man, if he has a bat, dude, I'm probably not gonna play the game.
Dude, Quan Chi mix-ups with cameos, bro? No, get me out of there, dude. I'm done.
Can you imagine he has a bat plus cameos?
Yeah, dude, I'm not playing Dink, bro.
I agree with you on the design. I really like the simplistic designs that the game is giving us, or that NRS is giving us, and they look fantastic. I feel like if he didn't have those spikes, he would fit in so well. The
Right.
spikes, you're 100% right, are definitely out of place, and I just don't understand designs like that because like, what if he's got to like crack his neck? Like I don't know where the spikes are pointed, but they look awfully close to his head. It doesn't really look like he has much leeway for movement.
Maybe they're a
But then,
strategic thing to protect his head from getting cut off again.
I mean, maybe yeah, either that or I don't know. The dude, he looks pretty evil. You don't really need to add spikes to make yourself look even more evil.
My biggest hope is that he has the same voice actor, because like that is the voice of Quan for me. If they change that, I don't know how I feel about the character at that point.
Scorpion.
It's been you the whole time.
Yeah. Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Wooly. Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. His voice actor was great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't.
Such a like an effortless laugh, yet it sounds so douchey that it's just like, all right, yeah, I believe it.
One of my favorite MKX intros is him and Takeda, and just like, and he's like, you don't scare me, Quan Chi, and he's kind of got like this like kind of under his breast like, oh, I think I do, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, like, oh, it's such a well delivered line.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, it's freaking Compy, any thoughts on Quan Chi? Anything you want to add that we haven't already joked about?
No, I mean, I'm glad he's back for you, but I never liked Quan Chi as a character. I always thought he was lame. I don't know, like his spacesuit in MK4. I mean, I love the
yeah.
like beat fatality, and I hope that comes back in some way. But other than that, I just never liked Quan. Deadly Alliance, he looked goofy. The next stretch fatality, I don't know.
One of the
I
worst fatalities ever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I never liked the character. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I
that's
hope-
fair.
But his voice actor, I did like his design in MKX was cool. I'm not gonna lie, and the voice acting, pretty good.
He had my favorite brutality in all of MKX and my favorite fatality, and I didn't even play the guy.
Wait, which one were those?
The one where he would push you into the portal and then it was like rain your blood all over him.
Oh,
was my
yeah.
favorite fatality, and then the fatality where he has you walk into the sword.
Yeah.
Oh, take it to the base.
Take it to the base. Yeah.
Yeah. That fatality, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this guy's just disrespectful, bro. He doesn't, it's not even like about winning. He just wants to fucking make you look, he wants to make you look like a bitch.
Totally. Totally, man.
Scorpion.
Okay. God damn it. Moving over to Ermac. Personally, I don't like the redesign. I think the ninjas without masks are just, I don't know. That just doesn't do it for me. And like the whole mummy thing, I don't really care for. I liked it better when he was like, like classic Ermac with like the ninja design with like the green eyes or whatever. But I mean, all we saw was a quick little trailer, so who knows? Are y'all with me or against me? What did you think?
I'm with you. I tweeted out Ermac's new design looks like the old lady from SpongeBob, the chocolate. Oh, I remember chocolate, like the fucking just spine in a wheelchair that's dried out. That's what he looked like. So I'm not a big fan of his redesign. I love Ermac as a character. I played him a ton back in UMK3 and MK Deception and some MK9, but I'm just not excited for his look. Hopefully the DLC characters will have like, more costumes this time around and classic outfits and stuff. But like design wise, I completely agree with you. I don't like the mummy look. Don't know what they're going for with that. But I'm excited to see Ermac. The air combo potential is going to be cool.
I mean,
Spectral
true.
Ermac and MKX was sick.
Yeah.
He had some pretty cool corner loops and stuff. So hopefully they have his float and he can do some cool shit like that in this game.
Oh man, design wise, I'm with you. I think he's fugly. The thing that's kind of saving it for me though is with this being kind of like a retelling and a whole brand new universe. Like, look at Rain, for example. I don't really think you can consider him a ninja anymore.
Yeah, he's a
I
piss
think
wizard now.
Yeah, he's a piss wizard. Um, I feel like with Ermac, who knows what route they're going. They definitely seem to be going with more of like a mage kind of design, kind of running off of the MKX look that he had. The only thing that throws me off, it's almost like they don't really know what they want to do with him because MKX he looked like a mummy, and then when we see him in 11 in the crypt, he's full on ninja,
Right.
full on ninja, and now we get him back.
Design was sick.
That design was good.
Yeah.
I I I kind of would have liked to see something like that, just because I'm a huge fan of the ninjas. But if they're going a completely different route with him, um, I'm open to see where it goes. Maybe the new type of or the new Ermac, maybe this look fits better as opposed to him being just like a ninja. But who knows? He's ugly as hell. That's where I'll end on that.
Agreed. All right, so we're all in agreement that Ermac's his new design is not the greatest. Not our favorite.
His skin is so dry.
So dry. Okay, so this is popped into my head. Why in all of Mortal Kombat games, if Ermac is just a collection of souls, is that not Shang Tsung's wet dream? Like, why is his goal not to just kill Ermac?
Right?
Like, that's like, like you got like one health left in like an RPG, and you get that one power up. You're back to full health again. Like, I feel like why isn't he not like he's doing all these scheming, but he should just be like focusing all his energy on getting Ermac.
Honestly.
Do you think it could be souls that Shang Tsung was just like, these are souls that, like, if he like gets rid of a soul, does he lose access to that soul? Could it be that he just put a bunch of strong warriors in Ermac and was like, you're a collection of them all in one, while I could still individually be those souls? Or is he just...
To be honest, I don't really know the lore of how Ermac came about. I just know that he's a collection of souls. Whether Shang Tsung made him or not is... But even if Shang Tsung were to make him, why would he not make himself stronger instead of making a second entity that might be like, hey, I accidentally put the soul of a dude that I fucked over 200 years ago in this guy, and now he wants to kill me, Like...
Yeah, good point. I don't know. I really don't know what they were thinking.
Maybe
It
if...
was just like...
Maybe like Ermac Souls. So like have you guys played like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or anything?
Yeah, I played Dark Souls.
Yes.
Like you pick up like Soul of a Proud Warrior and it's like 10,000 souls that you could use, or like then there's like Brave Soul. It's only like worth 1,000 souls. Maybe Ermac just has like those shitty souls that aren't worth a lot. Like I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Shang's like, I don't really want these souls.
Yeah, he's like they're not worth my time.
But I'll make it into something else that might fight for me. Why not?
Yeah.
There is some Ermac fan listening to this right now, absolutely going bonkers over what we're saying.
Seething.
They're furiously typing on their keyboard, smashing that right now.
And I'm here
Just like
for
you
it.
should smash the like button and subscribe. Shujinkydink amazing.
Hell yeah, appreciate the plug, buddy. Shameless plug. So okay, moving on to the next of the Mortal Kombat characters, Takeda. Yeah. So okay, so you go ahead first. So Takeda, we saw a little bit. Obviously, it looked like he has the same like chain weapons. I think. I'm pretty sure I saw those. Right.
Yes.
And again, we're talking. The email confirmed it is Takeda Takahashi, but I pointed out and some others that he doesn't look like a kid anymore. Like they've definitely aged the character a bit. Thoughts on that?
Man. So I was a huge believer that he was a different character, but upon looking at the design and seeing him, it's kind of hard to keep that same energy because it's too on the nose. So he definitely does look like he aged. The only time that we've seen him old or like older than MKX was MK11 Shao Kahn's ending. He had like a quick little cameo with C though, and it was Takeda in his MKX outfit, but he had a full-on beard and he just looked a little bit older. I don't know what route they're going with this character as of right now. I want to say, like, the only thing that comes to my mind is that when Liu Kang was kind of reshaping things, he might have seen something in Takeda in a sense of like, yo, this guy is the one, or maybe he's just the one kid that didn't annoy him compared to Jackie and Cassie and all
Right.
them. But it's, if you look at his design compared to everybody else that we've seen, he's got a very, very high-tech upgraded suit from his MKX design. Like even his little like gauntlet things there to hold the whips, they look a lot more, they look upgraded compared to where they used to just kind of run alongside his arms. Now you don't really see them. You see them on the back, kind of the same position they were in X, but
Right.
he just has like a much more techie suit. Something that looks like no other character really has. Even, you know, the Earthrealm characters where, you know, because Outworld doesn't really have, like, electricity doesn't have technology in the same aspect of Earthrealm, but nobody in Earthrealm has these tech suits. So the only thing that seems to make sense in my head is that he is the same old Takeda that we've already known. It's just wherever he was in MK11, I think we're going to find out in 1, and it's going to kind of explain why he's where he is now. Though it's going to be weird because let's say down the line we get Cassie, Jackie, you know, Kung Jin again, and then Takeda's just here and he's like, "Oh, what's up? You guys are all like little kids."
I mean,
Like,
I feel like, so I had a theory that you know, like for every combat pack that comes out, they have a combat kid in that combat pack. Was kind of what I was thinking maybe they would do, but then they would have to have some way of like making sure they're all kind of on the same footing on where they came from and where they were, kind of thing. Otherwise it, but I mean, again, and this is a time travel thing, they could just completely rewrite it and just be like, okay, you're Jackie Briggs, but you're not from Jax or something like that, you know? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
So
you know,
it,
I wouldn't even be surprised if he was brought back with the intent to just run the Shiryu. Maybe we find Hanzo. Maybe he trains the new Hanzo. Who knows? But
that would be interesting.
he's just so out of place.
He
You know,
definitely.
and don't get me wrong, he's the character that I'm the most excited for. I cannot wait to play this guy. But with everything that we've seen, and with it being a brand new timeline, and he's here, it just confuses me.
I can't tell. Is that a scorpion on his headband?
It is. Yeah, I've zoomed in on it. So there definitely is some tie to Scorpion, whether it's like the Shira Ryu or Scorpion himself. Like maybe instead of Hanzo being, but we already have Scorpion. That's been confirmed to be Kuai Liang as Scorpion. So like that's what I'm a little confused on that.
Could it be possible
Yeah.
that even though he's a Takahashi, he's not Kenchi's kid, and this is like a new Takeda that's in the Lin Kuei that looks up to? No, see, that's what you said. He looks older than Kuai.
Yeah, like
So.
Kuai looks like a young man, and Takeda definitely looks a little bit aged.
Maybe the DLC characters are like ripped from like time paradoxes, right? Like literally just portal open, picked out of there. And that's why like Takeda's not in MK11 because he went into this rift that goes into this dimension. I don't know, but
I mean, it's a
that
theory.
could, I don't know.
I feel like they in
Wait, maybe because Quan still has the shoulder spikes. That kind of looks like MKX Quan. And then you said MKX Ermac. I mean, he had the Pharaoh costume or whatever.
That is
okay,
true.
okay.
That is true.
So
They
MKX
look
they
like they're
got like
MKX designs.
yeah they got like portaled somehow from MKX into MK1, skipping MK11 entirely.
And Quan Chi better be thanking whoever pulled them in.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
it's
right.
Quan Chi that pulled them in. Hey, let's not be jumping to conclusions here. You know, my man's sneaky.
No,
What was that move? Back 3? Was that the portal kick thing?
Uh, was it back 3 or forward 3? Is one of the two. I think it was forward 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because back 3 was a slow.
Back 3 was the low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right though.
I don't like Quan. Nobody deserves to get their their junk stomped out like that.
I
hope they-
hated that they made that a quick time event. I hated I didn't do it. I literally just
Yeah.
sat there and waited for it to time out. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
stomping this dude's nuts. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, it's my boy.
this is my boy, you know? And then she just stomped him anyways. I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is a thing we're doing now, so whatever.
Yeah. Whoa, my balls.
Okay, so now
Imagine she stomped him and he was just like, I don't have balls.
I don't know what you're doing down there.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like technically an Oni at like his purest form, so I mean, I don't
Maybe
know.
he's got 4.
Oh, so he's a double trouble then.
Yeah, it's like those eggs that you crack open and they got 2 yolks.
Okay, this got a little bit deeper on my boy than I wanted to.
Yeah, love you, Quan.
Okay, so I will preface this next section with the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to this, but we got 3 guest characters. I don't know what your knowledge is on them. Omni-Man?
I don't know.
Oh man, Omni-Man is out of all 3 of these guest characters,
He
Omni-Man.
fits the most.
Yeah, I would say Omni-Man is in all aspects going to be the most brutal of all of these DLC characters, even our loved MK characters. Omni-Man
Really?
is going to Omni-Man is a menace, bro. He's like he's a good evil Superman clone. I'll put it that way, where he kind of instills hope to a degree, but it's all a facade. He's got an entire mission. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil Invincible for anybody. But
I might still watch it, so maybe we'll just be careful of spoilers, especially for people listening too. So appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dink, I just binge watched Invincible last week. Like I never seen it. I watched it in one sitting. Literally all.
Oh, okay.
It's that good. It's
Yeah,
that good. So definitely watch it.
I read the comics a while ago, and then when I got to see the show, it was definitely a lot of fun. Omni-Man is going to be brutal. I know that a lot of people are kind of skeptical with the 2 Superman-esque characters in the game, but they're the way they are, the way they act, the way they fight is extremely different, and Omni-Man is going to be tearing people to pieces.
Interesting. Okay, well that's
Yeah.
good to know. I'll have to watch that before the game releases.
Yeah, because like Omni-Man is like a super trained, like their whole race is based off, being the best warrior and stuff. So he's very well versed in combat, super strong. A lot of kills in the show are just hand to hand ripping people in half, bashing their heads and just things like that. Whereas like Homelander is kind of unhinged, untrained. If I had to make a guess, like Omni-Man's gonna be rushed down, kind of character or whatever, and maybe Homelander might be more zoning-esque thing, but that was my concern too with the 2 Superman type characters. But after watching Invincible, there is a clear difference in how the characters are portrayed and how they would fight.
Yeah, like I
So-
felt like this was maybe like NRS's way of saying like, sorry we didn't get Injustice. We knew that's kind of how this kind of goes, but we're gonna try and put as some superhero-esque characters in this game to kind of make up for it, kind of thing. That's kind of how I felt with this, but good transition to Homelander, another character that I don't know anything about. Again, both Omni-Man and Homelander, I only know from memes. Like I've only seen them in memes, so I don't really know. Like I think I've seen a couple clips of the boys to know that Homelander is like he's not a good dude. Like he's like a pretty shitty person, and like also maybe a little bit comic relief, kind of. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
he's basically if Superman didn't have good parents. Like he's just mad unhinged, just does what he wants. Like, The Boys is great because it's basically if Superman realized, wait, why am I helping these people? Right? And then just did what he want. Like, oh, you talk bad about me, I'll cut you in half. Like it.
He's
You
like
know,
a narcissistic.
He's unhinged.
He's a
Yeah,
narcissistic
narcissistic
Superman.
asshole,
Yeah.
just horrible, horrible. No moral compass. Does what he wants. It's great. You should watch The Boys too, Dink. It's really
I've heard good things about that show. I don't know if that's a one sitting type binge like Invincible
No.
is, but
It's a lot longer. I mean, I watched it in a week, but I have problems. So
The Compy made a really kind of he hit it on like the nail on the head. It is Omni-Man is definitely going to be a rushdown. Like competitor said, he's a trained warrior. Their race, they train, get to a certain age, and then they're sent off to planets to kind of conquer them. Where I was gonna call him by his actual name, Homelander is kind of like a big baby. So when we see Homelander kind of dish out hand to hand, he's really not that good because what he has of Superman is essentially the flying super fast, but his go-to is the laser eyes. He doesn't know how to fight so well, so I could see him sitting back, kind of really emphasizing using the lasers. I can see a lot of like Supergirl-esque moves with him.
like kind of like keep away, like kind of like maybe moves that kind of move him back more or move him out of danger, kind of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would make sense.
who's gonna have forward 2-3 though? That's the real question.
Oh man.
That's gonna determine who I play.
I mean, big truth. Is it Peacemaker? Well,
Yes.
Peacemaker have 4-2-3.
Peacemaker.
So
would-
tell me about this character, because other than it's very clearly John Cena, which I'll be very interested to see if they can actually get John Cena to voice him. That would be awesome. It's a pretty high profile dude. I think he's still pretty high profile. I'm not sure, but tell me about Peacemaker. What does this guy do? Apparently he was in Suicide Squad, but I don't remember seeing him in there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, really quick, they got J.K. Simmons, the voice actor for Omni-Man, and from Spider-Man, Whiplash, everything. So they might get John Cena for the voice. I hope they do.
I mean, that's fair. That's a big profile name too.
Yeah, but maybe Gabe might be more of an expert with Peacemaker because I only knew him from the show, and then I just recently watched the second Suicide Squad movie with him in it. But from what I could gather, Peacemaker, John Cena, he's basically superhero Johnny Cage. Like, he's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
It's great.
this version, since they're pulling it, since he is John Cena, he definitely is like the Peacemaker we've seen from his show and Suicide Squad movie. He's kind of just like a quick little rundown. His father was a racist supervillain, kind of trained him to, be tough, with his hateful views and those things. And Peacemaker's kind of obsessed with peace to the point where he will do whatever it takes to achieve the outcome of peace, even if it means that he's not really going to do peaceful methods to achieve it.
Right.
We see him kind of go from being like, oh man, I do what I do because I love freedom, to kind of, double guessing, do I really want to be a killer type of personality, character change that he's kind of going through. But this character, I can kind of see with his big gun right there. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing some similar moves to RoboCop. I can kind of see him just using that out, decking that out. He's definitely going to have some up close options. We've seen him with hand to hand in Peacemaker and Suicide Squad. But to be honest with you, I really don't know what direction they're going to take with him. With him having the gun, I'm going to definitely assume that it's going to be some zoning options, but I could see him being in your face, kind of maybe like a grappler, just because it's John Cena and he's kind of big and hulking. So I can see him.
Fair.
If they don't throw, if he doesn't have the FU, then I don't want it. But
That has to be in there. There's no way he's in a fighting game and doesn't have his signature move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's an interesting choice to bring into the game, especially when you bring in two characters that, like Omni-Man, like Homelander, where they're essentially superpowered. He's not really superpowered. His helmets have different tech, which we could probably see in some of his gameplay. But I think we're mainly going to be seeing gunshots and Can't really tell what's on his belt right there. I don't know if that's a magazine, if that's a little dart gun that he had, or the little dart shooter that he had in Suicide Squad, or if it's like a baton-looking thing. But you could definitely expect, I think, some hand-to-hand with some minor zoning options.
Yep, and Eagly assists. Let's hope.
If Eagly is not in the game, they totally missed the mark.
Yep, exactly.
I'm excited to learn what that is. So,
Dude, okay, Dink, I'm telling you, you got 3 good shows to binge. You
Yeah.
know, they're all great. I vouch for it. They're all great.
I agree.
all right. Well, I definitely need something because Riverdale is coming to an end. Also, don't tell anyone I watch Riverdale, but we're almost at the end of it. I'm so sad. It's the only series I've ever actually watched every single episode of. Anyways, that's embarrassing. Moving on to the next one. Geras trailer. Holy, I was not expecting Geras of all characters. I actually thought Geras was going to be like a one and done type character, but then once they kind of started talking, all the hourglass stuff, I'm like, okay, like it makes sense. Like he's linked to the hourglass and not to Chronica. For whatever, I could not get my mind around the fact he served Chronica, which he says he served Chronica, but then, now he's serving Liu Kang. So, initial thoughts of that trailer, character redesign, anything?
I gotta just say, I am so glad he's back. I think Geras is the coolest new Mortal Kombat character they've introduced since like Kenshi back in MK Deadly
Wow.
Alliance. Geras is badass. Like just his design, just the sand stuff at the time, just his moveset in MK11, like he was so fun to just play on the side. And like I said, if Johnny wasn't in the game, I'd probably play Geras, but he's my favorite newcomer. He looks sick, and I love that they brought him back. Like if there was any other character from MKX or 11 that was coming back, I'd want it to be him. Or Aaron Black, but whatever. They're both really cool. But I was not expecting him to be revealed. I wasn't ready for this trailer to drop. And his new redesign looks so sick. His new moves, just at a glance, are amazing. I love he's got like more wrestling moves. I think I saw a DDT or something from the air
Yeah.
throw. He looks so sick, dude.
I agree with Kompetitor. I think Geras is a fantastic addition to the Mortal Kombat cast. Mainly because the power set that this guy has is amazing.
Yep.
It's so cool. Being able to just in a game where, these guys will go and kill you in the most brutal way possible, the fact that he will just kind of reassemble himself and stand up, and now he's stronger than when you killed him. It's he's imposing. He's a threat. I love that his moveset, because you guys know we've been playing NRS games long enough, or Mortal Kombat games long enough, that where even though these characters will have similar moves from the previous installment, they all basically have like a different feel to them. Geras doesn't, just by looking at him and just by seeing his gameplay, it really feels like he's kind of he's stepped up from rookie in the Mortal Kombat universe to now he is an established character. He has these moves that we're familiar with. But now we get to see him on the good side, or maybe not the good side, more so just kind of in the middle, where he's not loyal to Liu Kang, he's loyal to the Hourglass. So Liu Kang kind of sets up this world, and I can see maybe he's there to kind of explain to him, like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what your actions are doing. This is what's being caused. And I feel like he's going to be a good mediator to kind of help Liu, stay on a righteous path. So I think Geras is just great. He looks so cool. I didn't really play him in 11 much. I just used to get really upset when people would pick him against me. But I can see myself really giving him a try in this game. He looks like he's here and he's like, hey, I'm in Mortal Kombat. I'm a Mortal Kombat character. It is what it is. I hate that Body Splash is back though.
Yeah, I hated that.
Hey, Uplock.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, that's true.
Side note. I was thinking about this as I was driving home today. Is there such thing as a flawless up block? I didn't see any, but I mean, does that exist? Is that a thing?
I didn't see any, and I haven't really heard anybody say anything along the lines of like a perfect up block. Could be just one of those things where nobody's really kind of tested it out, so we don't know. But
yeah, they haven't announced
from
it.
the beta, I didn't see anyone flawless up blocking, because if you flawless block jump-ins, it looks to still like put him at a less advantage. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Right.
definitely something to test.
Just a thought that I had. And okay, speaking of that, thought that I had at the start that I stopped myself talking about here was one thing that Liu Kang says to Geras is like, it's been eons since I've seen you. And like when I looked up how long an eon is, it's like literally billions of years. So like Liu Kang has been doing this for a very long time, it seems. Like him like I don't know why they parted ways eons ago, whether it was like Geras went to the bottom of the blood sea or whatever it was, and that's the last time he saw him. But either way, Liu Kang has been doing this for a very, very long time. Why he chose to bring Geras, or why Geras chose to find Liu Kang, we don't really know how that happens, I don't think, yet. And then Geras seems very hesitant of what Liu Kang is doing at this perfect moment in time, saying like, your whatever he says, your vision of peace is at risk or whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting, be like maybe Liu Kang's vision of peace has lasted this long, and now Geras is here, or Liu Kang has summoned Geras back to be like, something's going on here, I'm not really sure what's going on. And maybe Geras is like, yeah, because you're a fucking idiot. You did the wrong thing or something like that.
I was having a similar thought to that, but I was thinking more in the sense of where Liu Kang's been doing this for a while. It's been going well, where I can't seem to find it, but they did post Geras's bio, and it seems like he's not necessarily there to kind of tell Lou like, hey, you're screwing up. I think he's coming to kind of be like, hey, the peaceful world that you've created, there's these things that are happening now, and I think he's kind of warning him. I think we're going to see Geras early on in the story, where he comes up and he kind of is just like, hey, you need to get ready for this, because it seems like there's these things that you tried to change, and it's creating these outcomes. So I think your vision of peace is coming to an end. So
Yeah, and I mean, so I wasn't really sure, like, because Geras, especially since we jumped from Geras serving Kronika to now Geras serving Liu Kang, or even, I don't even know if he serves Liu Kang. I don't know if that's been confirmed or anything in the trailer. It just seems like, they obviously know each other. They're tied to the hourglass together, right? So maybe Geras is just neutral. He knows that Liu Kang wants peace, and his job is to say, okay, this is what you want. This is what's happening. Be careful, kind of a thing. If this is what you want, I'm just noticing that this is happening. I mean, I don't really care, but like, my job is to tell you what I see out there, kind of idea. Maybe, possibly.
I can see that. I can see that happening.
One thing that I saw some other people noticing about the Geras trailer was apparently that it may have hinted at some sort of a gear system, because there were certain frames where Geras had like the costume was ultimately the same, but there's one or two accessories that were maybe different. I don't know if that's something that either of you noticed at all.
I did notice. It was like the little chest thing, the thing in between his pecs, and then the little orb on his back. I can see that just with how simple the designs are. I can see that them being base, where you can kind of change just small things. I think is going to be very similar to Injustice if this is the case, where it's going to be like you have a chest piece, arm piece, leg piece, and you'll be able to kind of go from there.
And so what makes me question that is like Kenshi, for example. Like we saw the one Kenshi he's like in a suit, he's got the Yakuza with the tattoos and all that. And then he also has like this blind swordsman kind of, it looks like a completely different skin. So like, do we have skin and gears? Like is that a thing? Like combine them
Maybe.
two kind of thing, like they did in MK11, or like?
Do you
I
think
hope
it's
that'd be sick.
possible? Do you think it's possible we have certain skins for specific story missions? Like for example, with Kenshi, and from like the first gameplay trailer, where Kenshi was talking to Raiden, and they were both wearing the same monk outfit. It would be weird for them to both have the same skin. I mean, I guess not.
I forgot about that. Good point.
Yeah, they seem to. I don't know, because like even then with Geras, it wasn't like we saw big changes on the pieces that he had. You know, like I don't. It wasn't like they were fully changing up the armor piece on his arm, the sash, the shoes. It was just like those small little accessories that he had. So not. I have no idea which direction they're gonna go in. If it is gear, I hope that we don't have to sit there and grind like we had to for Injustice 2. I mean, I know that there's still hundreds of people that have had the game since day one and still don't have like a specific piece that they've been grinding for years. So
Yeah, like that's the thing I hate about MK11 too, is the randomness for the skins. Cause like, dude, there's like 2 Johnny skins I just never got from the crypt or whatever. It's stupid. But
Yeah.
speaking of skins, you know, because you brought up the Kenshi where he's like in a suit, like I couldn't tell which one was Johnny Cage at first when they showed that first gameplay, because I'm like, who the fuck are these? Like, who are these people? But you know, and then obviously from the beta, Kenshi's normal Kenshi and that. So I wonder if that I don't know if that affects moves at all, but that's kind of like a throwback to MK9, human Cyrax versus robot Cyrax, where you know the bomb combos were a little bit different, the resets were different, but there were practical uses to using human versus robot. So I don't know. I don't think they would design it like that this time around, but I just think it'd be cool to have such, you know, drastic, different looking costumes. Being able to play, you know, before blind Kenshi and regular Kenshi. Or like Gabe said, that might just be part of the story because, you know, they're in the Shaolin Temple, so they're wearing the monk outfits, blah, blah, blah. But you know, I just think it would be cool to include more skins like that and gear system. More customization's cool, but stuff that doesn't drastically alter the original look of the thing, kind of like Geras, you know, it's just a chest piece or whatever. That doesn't completely change the whole look.
Yeah.
So
What and I definitely agree with you both on the grind. Like I think that you should be able to unlock all the gear for your character playing the game mode that you want to play. Like in MK11 it felt like they really wanted you to play like every game mode, which like maybe like give like 1 or 2 skins or something, or 1 or 2 gear pieces to specific modes to be like, okay, just try this. But like if I just want to play ranked, like give me a way to earn every skin in the game by ranked. Like I played like Cetrion for 2.5 years, and I had to only pretty much ranked in online matches, and I still had to go to stupid towers and do all this stupid stuff just to unlock all of her gear. Like it was really dumb. So I think, and vice versa. If you don't want to go online, like I know so many people that were like, you know, like I'm waiting for the combat league season so that I can just play one game in combat league and just get the skin that I want. Like I don't want to play online. I want to go do towers. So like it works both ways, and I think that would be a better way of distributing those things than what they did in 11. But with the way that games are going now, I'm pretty certain we're probably going to get a battle pass, which I'm not stoked on. We've avoided it up until now, but I really don't see them going away from that.
yeah, live service games, my man. But back to that point, yeah, you know, I have a lot of casual MK players, you know, that are my friends, and they don't want to play 10 ranked games a day to earn a brutality. You know, that's a lot on them. They're simply they don't play the game like that. They just like to play towers and stuff like that. So what you propose, like maybe leveling up a character a certain way, it doesn't matter whether you're doing it in towers, story mode, online, ranked, whatever, but just playing that character enough should level it up like in its own way or something, to where you unlock the skins, and once you hit max level, you'll have all the skins and gear or whatever. Whether you're grinding towers, playing whatever, just to appease all fans. That's like the best way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Last topic, not on the agenda, but just kind of wanted to throw it out just for a talking point. Going off of that, what kind of game modes do you think we should expect? Like they said that I'm pretty sure Ed Boon said there's not going to be a crypt this time around. They're replacing it with something, which,
Correct.
given the 3D era characters coming back, I'm hoping is a conquest mode on top of a story mode. So I'm pretty certain that we're going to get like the cinematic story mode, but I also think that maybe a conquest mode, which is maybe like a Shaolin monks kind of a thing, maybe, possibly. Any theories from you?
I would not if that was the case. I'm just straight up. I need Shaolin monks too, but that would be the next best thing.
So something I've learned just playing NRS games for as long as I have is that they always have something in one game. Let's say like they'll test something out in, for example, MK9, and then MK or the next game comes out Injustice, and we see just like a small thing that they introduced now in the next game, and they kind of tend to do that. I got that feeling with the Crypt from MK11 being a third-person adventure kind of style game. To me, it was, it was a little wonky in terms of just how it felt on the controller, but I feel like they were testing something out. And with the whole thing of them saying, "Hey, there's no crypt. We're taking out the crypt for another game mode." And it's now August 1st, and we still haven't heard a single thing about this new game mode. I want to say that it's the conquest mode. I want to say it's finally coming back. It's the most requested mode. Um, it is, like you said, I think it's kind of like a callback to the 3D era, and I feel like we're going to get something that ties into the story. I don't think it'll be like a different thing. I think we'll be following characters that we are already familiar with or that we get to see in the game. And I think at some point it's going to link up with the story, or there's going to be a bit where maybe conquest mode finishes and then it leads into the MK1 story, or who knows. But I definitely think we're getting conquest mode.
Yeah, they had 4 years to work on it too. Remember that.
Exactly.
Oh, good point.
So
Yeah.
and they've been keeping this under wraps, dude. So I don't know, either that or we're just gonna get motor combat.
Oh
I
man,
wouldn't be mad about that. I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't be
I'd play
mad
with
about
this.
that either. That was like, oh, it was stupid fun. It was super duper glitchy and like absolutely broken, but it was really fun just to casually play with friends. I love that.
I want chess combat back,
I
honestly.
was just gonna say that if it's not conquest, give me chess combat.
I've been playing
Yeah.
that. I've been playing some Deception lately. I've been playing Chess Combat. That is way more fun than I remember it being. That is, especially like understanding fighting games a little bit more, and like now there's more strategy to movement and stuff, and it's like your movement on the board, then your movement. Like, oh man, that would be a
And dude,
blast to play.
just make your main the pawn, dude. Then it's game over.
Yeah,
You're winning
yeah,
every time.
that's a
My,
strategy.
my friends quit playing me in that because I would just pick Dairu and do Tombstone Drop.
Oh god,
Yeah.
you're the
Imagine that
worst.
as Yo, imagine him as a cameo, dude. Unblockable launcher, full screen, Tombstone Drop cameo.
I
Give me
wouldn't.
it right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was a cameo with the Tombstone drop, but like obviously like balance, like maybe a low and like you can see him. But then it would add some crazy mix-ups, like maybe you jump in, so now you have like an overhead low kind of a situation. Like my
Yeah,
theory,
which
real quick, is that we will see every single Mortal Kombat character that has existed that's been playable in some way, shape, or form, given the main roster, DLC, and cameos. Especially since they said there's story cameos who aren't actually playable, who are only in the story. I think between everything, at some point, we'll see every character. That's my theory.
I would love that.
Even
I think
like
that's a good take.
characters like Meat or like Mocap that were like one-offs, I even think they'll somehow find places for them.
Absolutely.
Well, look, we didn't even talk about this with the combat pack, but they confirmed cameos too, like Movado. Movado's
Yeah.
gonna be in the combat pack.
I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Like I never thought we'd see him again.
Oh, man, he better have those
Oh.
stretchy little cord things still, bro.
Oh, he could
better
be
have
the
the
coolest
cowboy
cameo. He'd be the
Yeah.
coolest cameo, and like, yeah, like so. Real quickly, we'll just recap that. So we got, was it Movado, Farah, not Tor, famously, like just Farah is in there. I'm trying to. I don't have it up in front of me. I'm trying to think of what the other characters.
Here, I got it. It was wasn't it okay? Movado, Johnny Cage,
Right.
Farah, Tremor, and Chameleon.
Right. So Chameleon we kind of saw in the background of the Umgadi trailer. At least it's speculation.
Yeah.
Most people think that's Chameleon, so I mean that makes sense. Tremor, I think Tremor will probably be pretty similar to his MKX design, maybe a slight upgrade. But he has some cool moves that would make for a sick cameo, quite honestly. And then Johnny Cage, which is I can't believe I waited this long because I actually forgot about it. I really wanted to ask you, Kompetitor, how do you feel about Johnny Cage with the Johnny Cage cameo, especially knowing that you could have Jean-Claude Van Damme Johnny Cage with like classic Johnny Cage as a cameo?
I think that is the coolest thing ever because originally Mortal Kombat was supposed to be a Universal Soldier game, which is a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. So on it, obviously, they wanted him for the mocap for it, but he couldn't do it because he did another movie. So then they based Johnny's whole design off of him in Bloodsport, going with the nut punch and everything. And I could go in depth about how some of his kick moves are in like Kickboxer and Bloodsport. Huge reference to the character throughout all the games. Huge reference to Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I think it's the coolest thing that we're officially getting him as a cameo, and I think they said a skin, right?
Yeah, so I don't think Jean-Claude Van Damme is a cameo. I think he's a skin, and the
He's a
cameo is
skin? Okay.
actually just Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage. Okay. Well, I mean, as the skin, I think that's sick. That especially if he's voicing it, but as an MK fan and martial arts fan, the 80s kung fu movies, everything like that, that's the fucking coolest thing ever, man. And like I said already, like I was speculating, oh, Johnny Cage with a stunt double cameo, we're really going to have that. It's going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme and Johnny Cage.
That's
Maybe
true.
that's where his force balls are. His force balls are in his cameo, and they better be like
Exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, that's
He
good.
broke his shit.
So you could have Johnny with Johnny and still have force balls.
Exactly.
That's actually the most insane theory I've heard yet about Johnny Cage. That's actually pretty crazy.
Still got 3 ice.
Oh, I can't wait, dude. Like I said, give me this game. See, they didn't get me in that first beta because they were scared. They didn't want me to be too good. But this next beta's got Johnny in it, so
True.
I already took off work. I don't even have a PS5 yet. I took off work.
Nice. I was able to get the Friday and Saturday off. I got to work Sunday, but that's a short day. And then I don't know if it runs Monday or if it ends Monday, but either way, I got 2 full days to play the beta. I'm stoked. I got a couple weeks off of the game launches, so I'm stoked on that. And then, I'll be going to East Coast Throwdown in October. I've already booked my flight. I've already booked my hotel. I've already registered for the event. I'm so excited. If you're listening to this and this is something you're interested in, and you're in like the Connecticut, New York, Eastern area, I'll post a link in the description to it because it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'd love to meet some people. I get to meet fucking STB Goobie for the first time.
Yes.
Ever. I'm stoked.
Yes.
We have to get some pizza. That's like as far as tourist stuff goes, that's all I'm worried about. I just want to get some pizza.
Oh man, you're coming to a good place for pizza too.
I know. That's
Gabe, where did we get pizza at Summer Jam? That shit was ass.
Oh yeah. Oh man. It I want to say Sbarro, but I don't think it was Sbarro.
No, it was. I don't know. It was like right. It was right
right?
down the road from the hotel in King of Prussia or whatever the hell.
Yeah, no,
It was horrible.
okay. So we're
It's
not
like,
going to that place.
No, we're definitely not going there.
We're not going to that place. That being said, I think we've touched on all the topics we wanted to talk about on this podcast. Can you think of anything we missed?
One thing I did want to say is I really hope that Quan Chi's has his little like green skulls projectile, and I hope they make that weird little wah noise. I hope that
Why? That sound haunts my nightmares, dude.
dude, that sound is so great. I love that sound. I miss that sound. I hope that comes back.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Compy?
I wanted to mention, dude, Liu Kang's fatality in that Geras trailer. That is the craziest shit I ever seen in my life.
Best fatality ever.
I famously, apparently, was the only one to find it absolutely hilarious. Like, I was just thinking, like, how badly would you dislike somebody that you just bring them to space, summon a black hole, and suck all their insides out? Like, you could just throw them in that black hole, but no, you just
He had to watch it.
Yeah, he had to watch it happen and then just release them. Like, that's it's
you know how down bad you have to be to watch the entire suck.
You watch the whole suck,
The whole suck,
and then the release, like,
and the noises that Sub-Zero was making too, that little, and then he just like silence, bro. That shit was so funny.
yeah. I don't know.
When you say what that mouth do, but weren't ready for it.
Oh God.
Love it. All right,
No,
well,
that fatality's fucking sick.
I can't believe we forgot to touch on that, because that's, yeah, you're right. That's actually was like the big reveal of the Geras trailer, I think, because Garrus's fatality was like pretty lackluster when you put it right up against that. Like,
Yeah.
his fatality is cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, being sandblasted would really, really suck. But I mean, when you put it next to being literally sucked into a black hole, like spaghettified, I think that's an actual like scientific term.
Yeah, it was so cool as they kept like cutting back to like each other's fatalities, because like Liu Kang's sitting there all calm, and you know Sub-Zero's struggling, and then it goes back to Baraka, and he's just like screaming on the top of his lungs,
Yeah.
and then it cuts right back to like one of the most creative fatalities I've ever seen, and then it cuts back to Geras, and he's still holding them against the wall.
It's like, okay,
dude, do something.
yeah, do something, like push him into it or something. Like,
Yeah, use your time powers, man.
Oh, Geras combo potential is gonna be crazy with the freeze and cameos and shit. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, you're right. Me neither. I saw the freeze move, but I didn't think of like combining it with the cameos and stuff.
Dude, the setups like Goro Stomp being unblockable as we saw in the trailer, that's gonna.
I'm kind of thinking Goro might be a story cameo. I don't think they've confirmed him as like a roster cameo. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Excited in the just really quick in the Tanya or in the Umgadi trailer. Tanya does like a block string. It was either Tanya or Lime. They do a block string into the Goro.
Yeah.
One, and he drops on him like during the block string, so like it frame trapped into the unblockable. So
yeah, that was yeah, Lee May like does a combo, ends the combo, then does like the meaty like projectile, and then they have to block the projectile and they get stomped by Goro. So like that's pretty fucking crazy.
Wake up, slide.
I'm excited. I'm
Armored
just so
launchers.
excited for this game, man.
Slide under that projectile.
Oh my god. Don't even get me started. I'm so salty about armored launchers. Like, come on, man.
I can't wait to
You're
play.
gonna get armored nut punch. I'm nut punching through everything you do. I don't care. Playing Sweet Neptune is gonna be the worst experience you have in that game. Just get ready.
Oh yeah.
Man.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it there. Thanks for joining me on this. I appreciate y'all taking some time out of your day to nerd out about Mortal Kombat, and yeah. Thanks to everyone who's listening. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't, to make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks and all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks in the next video.
Accept your death.